So the first thing that I want to say is that in actuality, I think everything is artistry. I think math is art. I think engineering is art. I think teaching is art. I think banking is art. Everything is art. And in this moment, because we have a tendency to be very particular and very restrictive with some of our definitions, I'm going to go with the more quote unquote traditional forms of artistry. So we're talking about painters, musicians, poets, sculptors, that type of art. I think athletics are artistry. Oh my God, how can athletics not be artistry? Seriously, oh my God. Again, however, let's just go to those particular forms of creativity and artistry that we all attach our definitions to. And in particular, those of you that are out there that would say, no, I'm not creative. First of all, that's bullshit. Second of all, I understand that your definitions maybe need a little bit of rewiring or expanding. So that's cool for now. We're just going to go with the, again, traditional forms of artistry. And what I want to say about that, when it comes to this entire dynamic and all of the things that are going on in our world right now, we must follow the artists. Anytime there is a shift, anytime there is a change, anytime there is some type of new, challenging experience happening, we must follow the artists. And why do we follow the artists? Well, we follow the artists because they are creative. We follow the artists because they naturally and inherently have a capacity and a skill set to think differently about things, to perceive things differently, to speak to things differently. They are also unbelievably connected with their emotions. And always when we are experiencing a challenging situation, we have to be the most connected to our emotions. We have to let our emotions guide and dictate our way and our process and our trajectory. Why is that? Well, because our emotions always let us know what our current status is. And even if the current status is not a status that we want to stay at, it at least, gives us a starting point. And that's that. I mean, that in and of itself, it's a starting point. So we may not know where we want to go. We may not know where we want it to end up. We may not know what we want at all, but we know how we feel in that moment, hopefully. I understand that not all of us have super great connections to our emotions, and maybe we don't really know how we feel in any given moment. But again, that's why we go to the artists, because we listen to their music, we look at their paintings, we read their words, and we are moved. We are energetically and emotionally moved by what it is that they are like pulling out of us, by what it is that they are concocting and cultivating and sending our way. And then we resonate with that, or we don't resonate with that. But even that is still resonance, resistance is still resonance. So it will give us a place to start. And once we know where to start, then we can decide where we want to go from there. So in this type of scenario, the current existence of our world these days, follow the artists, because they are clear channels. They connect to a frequency, I'll say, that maybe not all of us are comfortable or skilled at connecting to. I would say that artists are comfortable being uncomfortable because it's part of what fuels their artistry. I would say that artists are extremely fucking hungry for raw, real humanity. And right now, with what's going on in our world, we need to be the most raw and the most real and the most human that we absolutely can be. And even if what you find coming out of you in that raw humanity is maybe something less than desirable, maybe it's more panicky, fear-based, and even fear-mongering than you would like, again, at least it's a starting point. At least you can kind of like reference and give yourself a little bit of check to be like, well, this is how I'm showing up. Am I okay with that? Am I cool with that? Is this how I want to progress? Is this the trajectory that I want to continue on? And if it's not, it's a fucking choose your own adventure, y'all. Like, make a different choice then. If you're not showing up the way that you really want to show up, take that information in. It's not a permanent judgment of your existence. It's just an acknowledgement of where you're currently standing. It's just a geographical location on the timeline that is your life. And if you're not cool with it, then make a different choice. But if you don't know how you feel, and if you don't know where to go, follow the artists. They will always, always lead the way because of their connection to their heart, because of their connection to, source and energetics on a greater level. They have a tuning that we all need. Think about going to a concert and think about how many people are at a show. And if you were to sit down and interview every single person, if you were to sit down and talk to each one and find out where they came from and what their religious background is and what their stories consist of and what they do for work and what their political preferences are, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, all of that gets washed away when the music starts playing. All of that completely is irrelevant when everyone starts to move in the same way to the beat and to the rhythm and to the way that the music makes them feel. Feelings are universal. Political preferences may not be, religious preferences may not be, but feelings are universal. And artistry taps into our feelings. So when we don't know how we feel or how we should feel or how we want to feel, follow the artists. Listen to their music, look at their paintings, read their words, eat their food, whatever it is that creates visceral response within you, start there. Because at least you'll be checked into your body. At least you will start to become aware of the vibrational response that you're having. And then you can make a choice. And then you can potentially start to put articulation and definition and value to those feelings. And feelings are everything. God, feelings are everything. We've lived so long in this world where, hide your feelings, withhold your feelings, don't share your feelings. Feelings are weakness. I call bullshit. Feelings are everything. They tell us where to start. They tell us where to go in the middle of the journey, in the middle of the process. They are a physical manifestation of the intuitive and inherent wisdom that our body holds. And that's everyone. You don't have to be someone special to have connection to your feelings and to follow them or listen to them. That's everyone. As I watch people on social media or witness my community and my friends with their responses to this shelter at home quarantine, you can't go to work, you can't see people, we're getting real creative. We're getting very, very creative. And that reminds all of us that we are all creative. You don't have to be good with a paintbrush to be creative. That's not the only way to be creative. That's not the only way to be an artist. I never considered myself an artist until a partner of mine many moons ago, who was a musician, so he was a traditional, what I would call a traditional artist, looked at me like, yeah, you are. Your artistry is people, though. Your artistry is love. Your artistry is relationship. Your artistry is energy. So the mediums and the platforms and the delivery method for sure is going to be different, but it's all artistry. Because we are a creative, sentient being. We desire to connect and we desire to expand, AKA we desire to create. And what I'm witnessing with the people around me is beautiful creation. Limitation breeds creativity. Because when we're kind of backed into a corner, when we are given less options, we have to figure out how to feel the way we want to feel within the container we have. And that's what motivates everything. We're always trying to figure out, how can I feel the way that I want to feel? It's not the thing that I'm going after that I want. I might think it is, but it's actually the feeling that I have attached to that thing. That's what I'm trying to achieve. So again, I say feelings are everything. Absolutely everything. You know, when you're sad, you put on certain kinds of music. When you're happy, you put on certain kinds of music. Artistry is our medicine in so many ways. And as I said, I personally believe that everything is artistry. We just don't have that relationship with banking, or we don't have that relationship with, business. We don't have that relationship with teaching. We don't have that relationship with the environment. But all of these components, it's art. It's all art. You know, watching a basketball player move their body down the court is poetry in motion. You know, a football player, a soccer player, a gymnast. I mean, I don't care what it is. Athletics are art. Attending to the environment, listening to the trees and the rocks, and understanding the dynamics of what it means to be in a particular environment. You know, anthropology, understanding human conditions. I mean, this is all a very subtle art that each one of us is specifically attuned to understanding. And I think more than ever right now, I want you to understand that whatever work you do in the world, if you're a project manager, if you are a data analyst, if you are an art teacher, if you are, you know, a janitor, if you are a construction worker, your work is artistry. And when we can have that type of relationship with the work that we do, it creates such a greater relationship and resonance and reverence with our work. And that always is better. Whenever we are more reverent and connected with whatever it is that we are doing, always, always, always does the work get done better. Do we feel more nourished and satisfied? And are we more connected to our experience? And the more that we are connected, the better everyone feels on all levels. So follow the artists. And if you don't know it, you're an artist as well. I love you so, so